Good morning, friends. Moving ahead, today we shall discuss non-benzenoid aromatic compounds. So, let's get started with it. So, in the monocyclic ionic forms, the first topic that we are going to discuss, the first ion is our cyclopropynyl cation. Now, the cyclopropenium or cyclopropenyl ion is the cation with the formula C3H3 positive, and it is the smallest aromatic cation. Its salts have been isolated by X-ray crystallography. The cation have been identified in the atmosphere of the moon of Saturn, that is called Titan. Now, when two pi electrons, having two pi electrons, the cyclopropenium cation obeys Huckel's rule of aromaticity for 4n plus 2 electrons, since it is in this case that the value for n is 0. Now, having its prediction, C3H3 core, that is cyclopropene, is planar, and cyclopropenyl cation is aromatic because it obeys the rules of Huckel's rules of aromaticity. What are they? All carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized. Then there are three carbon atoms which form a conjugated system and has a positive charge. This positive charge keeps shuttling on the three carbon atoms, and hence resonance is obtained with the electrons shifting, the double bond shifting here and there amongst the carbon atoms. If we put n is 0 in the Huckel's expression, that is 4n plus 2 pi electron thing, then we get 2 electrons. The cation also has an overlapping planar and parallel p orbital. So, as is known that maximum overlapping, the orbitals should be parallel to one another and planar. So, all the required criteria are fulfilled, and that is why the cyclopropenyl cation is aromatic, unlike the cyclopropene major core compound. The first figure shows the resonating structures of cyclopropenyl cation, and due to this it attains stability and hence it is aromatic in nature. Now, next figure might be slightly new to you. This is known as the Frost circles. So Frost circles are the diagrams which show the aromatic nature of any compound. So first of all, in the increasing order of energy, there is a circle drawn, and then inside the circle is inscribed the structure with all its vertices touching the circle. For example, our structure is triangular, so we inscribe it inside the circle and all the three vertices should touch the circle. Then we draw a central line which passes through the circle, the diameter of the circle, and this line is known as, that is shown in the dotted line. This line is shown as the non-bonding line. Now, above the non-bonding line are the non-bonding molecular orbitals which are high in energy. And below the non-bonding line are the bonding molecular orbitals which are low in energy. After that, the pi electrons, number of pi electrons as calculated by Huckel's rule, are distributed in the bonding and anti-bonding orbitals which are shown on the vertices. Now, since our triangular figure has two pi electrons, so these two pi electrons are distributed in the two bonding orbitals, and the anti-bonding orbitals do not have any electrons. That result in the aromatic character of this cyclopropenyl cation. Next, we move on to the synthesis of this ion. So salts of triphenyl cyclopropenium ion, they were first of all reported by in 1957 by Ronald Breslow. The salt was prepared in two steps. The first step shows the reaction of phenyl diazoacetonitrile with diphenyl acetylene, which gave 1,2,3 triphenyl 2-cyclopropene nitrile. That has been shown in the first step of this reaction. Then the step 1 product on treatment with boron trifluoride gave the required cation, that is cyclopropenyl cation, which is C3PH3BF4. In the second method of synthesis, when 3-chlorocyclopropene was treated with antimony pentachloride, antimony pentachloride acts as a Lewis acid. Then on this treatment, cyclopropenyl hexachloroantimonate was obtained as a stable salt. So these were the major popular methods to synthesize the cation. Now, amongst the chemical properties, the first reaction, as is shown in blue color, is the reaction of chloride salts of cyclopropenium esters, uh, where they are acting as intermediates, and it is in the use of dichlorocyclopropenes for the conversion of carboxylic acid to acid chloride. In the second reaction, which is shown in red color, the cyclopropenium chlorides have been applied to peptide bond formation. For example, as is shown in the red reaction, the on reacting a BOC protected amino acid. Now, what is a BOC protected amino acid? The tertiary butyl oxycarbonyl protecting group or tertiary butoxycarbonyl protecting group is known as a BOC group. This is a protecting group used in organic synthesis. Now the BOC group is stable towards most of the nucleophiles and bases. So in the yellow box that you can see, this is the BOC protecting group, and in the adjacent figure of it, where I have shown two compounds in blue and black, I am showing how a BOC protecting group protects an amino acid. The protection of BOC group for amino acid. Now let's get back to our original red colored reaction, where reacting a BOC protected amino acid with an unprotected amino acid in the presence of our cyclopropenium ion allows the formation of a peptide bond via acid chloride formation, followed by nucleophilic substitution with the unprotected amino acid. So these were quite a few of chemical properties of the ion that we were discussing. There are some applications which can be registered. Many complexes are known with cyclopropenium ligand. For example, I have shown you some examples. These compounds are prepared by reaction of cyclopropenium salt with low valent metal complexes. So that's all about this ion. In the next class, we shall take up a new ion. Bye bye.